welcome to your Katie Bell Physiotherapy and Wellness Stretch and Relax session. Today you'll need some equipment to help you with your stretches. I've got myself a yoga block, so a little thick block here just to come and do some of the rests and supports with. You may not need this, but it can be quite helpful if you do struggle with some of the deeper stretches. And I also have got myself one of the sort of thicker, heavier duty TheraBands. So if you have got a TheraBand at home and it's very soft, it's quite a light TheraBand, you might be better switching to a dressing gown cord, a yoga strap, or maybe a belt. Just we want a little bit more support and kind of a little bit more resistance in the band today. We also will be coming into a time of relaxation, so if you want a cushion, a blanket, or anything like that to help increase your comfort, feel free to grab those now. So I'm going to come and stand at the end of my mat, and I'm going to set my feet hip distance apart. So I'm going to take my feet nice and wide over to about hip distance and just let my toes melt into the mat. I'm not going to worry too much about where exactly my toes are pointing. I'm going to take just a couple of knee bends to start and just see as I take those soft knee bends how my body responds to that light bit of movement. Can I feel tension gripping on in my jaw or my shoulders or my lower back? And now I'm going to take myself through a little neck mobility. So I'm going to take my chin towards my chest, rolling gently through the neck, and then peeling back up and looking straight forwards. And again, exhale, tucking down, rolling through the spine, and then rolling back up again. Do 2 more in your own time. And if this doesn't suit you, you might prefer to do a little side bend of your head instead, taking your ear towards your shoulder. On this next one, let's keep our chin down, keep long through the spine, and just ground it into those feet, like the toes are nestling down into the floor. And then from here, take a breath in, and as you exhale, roll your right ear to your right shoulder, gently gazing forwards with your nose and your chin. And then exhale, rolling to the other side, nose looking forwards, taking a breath in, and again exhale, roll through to the other side, take a breath in, and then rolling one more time, left ear to left shoulder, taking a breath in. Let's bring our chin back to the centre, peeling the spine long again. Let's take the arms out nice and wide to a crucifix position. Imagine someone's pulling your fingertips away across the other corners of the room. As you breathe out, take your right hand down and your left hand up, sweeping to the side into a side bend, taking a nice big deep breath in. And from here, exhale, come all the way up and go to the opposite side, right hand over, left hand down. Allow the head just to soften to that side, and then exhale, let's come back to the right hand side, right hand down, left hand sweeps up and over. Stay here for a moment, and this time either repeat what we did before, or as you exhale, let's round forwards, down towards the floor, and peel all the way back up the centre. Peeling those arms open into your crucifix, and then going down into the left hand, reaching over that right hand. If you want to, add in the fold forwards, round and down, and then peel all the way up, opening the hands wide, long through the fingertips. Let's go down through that right hand, reaching over through the left fingertips. All the way through. This time, if you can, continue to come all the way through, rounding and opening those arms back up into a standing crucifix, and then sweep the other way. So we're doing big circles all the way through with our body, following with our arms. If you don't like the fold forwards, if you prefer, if it doesn't suit you, you might prefer to do big arm sweeps left and right. So we're taking the side to side movement. But if you're comfortable to, continue to roll forwards and through, opening up that chest. And then back the other way one more time. Okay, on the next one, we're going to come down to the bottom and hold it here, taking hold of the elbows, gently swaying ourselves left and right. Almost like a pendulum, let the body sway, letting the jaw relax, the body relax. Imagine your head is floating in this little frame that your arms are making. When you're ready, bring the hands into the centre and peel the spine all the way up into standing. Take a big reach up into a V, reach with those hands. And again, bring the arms back down, peeling forwards. Grab hold of the elbows and again, sway the body left and right. Let the head just float in that frame of the arms. And then on your next breath, come to the centre, roll all the way up. Open with those arms, V-reach hold, and come back down. One more time, all the way down to the bottom of the movement. This time, instead of swaying the body, keep the body still, either hands on the legs or the floor, and sway the hips left and right. Seeing if you can release that pelvis, release around the back of the hips. Let's take 2 more of these. And then when you come to the centre, peel up all the way into standing. Okay. From here, I want you to take a double shoulder roll. And as you do that, just feel those shoulders gliding on your back. I want you to just start to move the arms more with this. Almost imagining it rippling down through your elbows, out through your hands. Opening up a little bit more, almost like a wave through the arms. I don't know, like you're stretching out some wings. Okay, this next one, let's just hold here. Turn the palms up, just gently look up towards the ceiling. So I'm not forcing my neck, I'm just gazing like I'm looking forwards over the horizon. Take a big deep breath in. Breathe out and release back down. Do that again for me, taking those shoulder rolls. I'm going to change my position slightly. Okay, shoulder rolls, shoulder rolls. Okay, start making those movements come bigger through the arms, so we're really getting that lovely fluidity all the way through the arms. And then hold, turning those palms up, gently gazing forwards over the horizon, gently lifting through the chest, and lifting through the crown of the head. Okay, relax the hands, but still keep in your mind this open position here. I want you to step forward with the right leg, and as you step forwards, just open the arms and look forwards here, and then come back through again. Have a go again for me. So we've been doing a few of these, what we call myofascial moves. So we're using the fascia, we're using this pattern of the system opening up, and we're looking to give you that lovely lightness and softness, so you feel taller, almost like someone is picking you up, suspending you, like you've got puppet strings. So as you get off your mat, you'll feel taller, lighter, and easier with your movements. Okay, from here, let's hold through here. I want you to reach behind you with this right hand, right leg is forwards. From here, my left hand's going to come up and over, like I'm reaching over the top of my head. I'm going to reach from there. If that feels too much into your back or your shoulder, just reach it forwards. See how that feels. 3, 2, 1, and release off. Okay, let's swap up to the other side. So left leg goes forward, arms rotate. And back through. So hopefully, as you repeat more and more of these sessions and you get used to some of these moves, it will all start to feel a little bit more natural. And hopefully you'll start to recognise some of the patterns of movements that you feel stickier in, and the ones that you can maybe spend some time practicing those patterns. Let's hold it here now. So lift out the spine, reach away for your left fingertips, and if you can, sweep that right hand over, like you're trying to reach over to the opposite corner of the room. Keep long through the lower back. 3, 2, 1, and release through. Okay, nice free arms. Just take a big swing of those arms. Let the arms go quite floppy. Almost let your arms sort of kind of, not slap, but yeah, definitely swing around nice and loosely around your body. See, as you do this, if you can let go of that tension in your jaw, around your ears and around your face. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Great. Okay, interlace those fingers. We're going to reach those hands away, round the upper back and look down towards the floor. Take a breath in, breathe out, turn the arms the other way, so you're reaching your hands out and look gently up. So you're going to switch between the two, push away, round the spine, and then peel the spine back into standing, reach your fingertips away and look slightly up. Get those difference? So turn, reach, I've got that round, can you see this curl here? and my upper back and reaching away, that's it. And then I lift up, I'm lifting up through the chest and then stretching my hands the other way. If you're not happy with any of those moves, just take the edges off them. 2 more. And last one. And release. Well done. Okay. I want you to take 2 or 3 roll downs in your own time, and when you're ready, come and meet me on the mat into hands and knees. So exhale, let's peel chin to chest, rolling all the way down. Holding for that lovely breath in, releasing the jaw. Then exhaling, peeling all the way back up into standing. Long spine, floating through the crown of the head, and then again when you're ready, peel back down again. Try and move with that breath cycle, melting all the way down, and then peeling back up again. And again, exhale, rolling all the way down, holding for the breath in. And on this next one, let's walk ourselves out onto the mat. Okay, we're going to do a few versions of the exercises we've just done in standing. So I want you to settle your knees underneath your hips, taking your hands nice and wide so you feel really well supported. And I want you just to start by massaging tilt for your lower back. So we're not moving at the shoulders and the neck, just the tailbone rocking forwards and backwards. Feeling that lower back round and flex, feeling just the lower back joints gently mobilizing, freeing and easing off. 2 more, forwards and backwards. See if you can isolate it just to your lower back. And then come find a long lengthened position. So you feel like your tailbone is just gently trying to reach away from you. From here now, let's take a side to side movement with those hips. Again, at any point, if this doesn't feel appropriate for you, feel free to sub out the exercise we're doing for one that does suit your body. Gliding left and right. And this is just very gentle. This is almost like we're just bringing some circulation to the area rather than taking a deep stretch. Okay, when you're ready, we're going to take a nice big circle now with those hips. So we come all the way around to the centre and then back round. And I'm going to gradually build up the size of those circles. And if you want to, you could even just stay in half of that circle if you find that one hip is particularly stiff or there's a little point where you feel like you want to move into a bit more. So let's circle those hips and switch. Circle those hips and switch. Okay, one more in each direction. After this next one, I want you to come back into a shell stretch, but I want you to bring your toes together, let your knees come nice and wide so your legs are in a V, and lower yourself down towards the floor. Try to start without effort, so just let yourself drape forwards. You might need a block to lean onto, or some cushions to lean onto if that feels better for you. But nice and wide with those knees, long through the fingertips, and let the head rest down. We're going to stay here for 4 or 5 breath cycles. And just imagine as you breathe out, that your out breath runs along your spine, down into your tailbone. You feel a heaviness in the back of your pelvis. And exhale out. One more time. Okay, from here, we're going to walk our hands over to the left hand side, and I want you just to reach away a little bit more with your right hand. So you might see me walk my fingers away from my body. As I do this, I imagine myself being held onto on my right hip, almost like imagining that my hands are cupping around the right hip, and just gently, gently supporting you to keep down into that side. Let's do 2 more breath cycles here. And then when you're ready, let's walk our hands to the right hand side and reach that left hand away. and sit all the way back. Again, imagining somebody holding onto your left hip, reaching the left hand away to that right hand side of the mat. Remember, if you don't like this position, you've got the choice of coming up into sitting and doing a side bend. Okay, let's bring our hands back over to the left hand side. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to place my right hand onto the mat, and I'm going to almost, it's like I'm trying to turn myself over, like I'm rolling over in bed. And I come into that position here and open up through the side of the chest there. Now you've got two options. Either you can stay here and just stay supported. If you're happy to, you can lift that arm up and reach to the back of the hip here. If you feel like you're having to really brace and fix to make that work, just stay here or push off of your other leg. Just see if we can just open up the chest. But if you can, open up this hand, reach to the back of the hip. Nice long reach through this left hand. Well done. So these movements, these stretches that particularly involve the chest, nice deep breaths, stretching out those ribs can be really helpful. Okay, let's walk our hands over to the opposite side. So I'm over to the right hand side now, left hand starts to reach. When I feel that I'm over onto that side, I place my left hand in front of me and I roll myself onto my side. Staying there. And then when you're ready, let's reach that hand up into the air and then reach your hand over onto your lower back. So you might pop it onto the pelvis or onto your lower back. If you can, reach all the way behind that right hip, opening up there. Last breath cycle, let's release that hand and walk ourselves back into the centre. And I'm going to rest my forearms down in front of me like I'm doing my shell stretch. And I'm going to rock forwards and backwards. So this is a double stretch. Although yes, you might think it's coming down into the hips and around the legs, but you will notice with your elbows planted as you stretch back, a nice stretch for around the shoulder girdle and the chest. So as you go back into your shell stretch, just gently engage your core, and again, imagine you're being drawn back through your tailbone. You'll feel those arms just stretching away from you. Okay, after the next one, we're going to come forwards. Now, let's take our toes out so our legs are now parallel, so we change our hip stretch. If that doesn't feel okay for you, go back to legs narrow. So I'm looking for that nice little hip mobility. Okay, last two, last one, and hold it there if you can. 3 nice breath cycles, stretching away through those arms. Reach, 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 reach. For 3, 2, 1, and come forwards again. Well done. Okay, walk those legs to where it feels natural for you. And just for a moment there, just release off the neck. Bring the chin to the chest, roll the spine, whatever feels good for you, just to release and mobilise through there. Okay, we're going to take a little bit of a stretch around the hips and the legs now. So I'm going to plant my hands, I'm going to tuck my toes, and I'm just going to roll through the hips up into my downward dog. I'm drawing my ribs in, so I've got a nice connection into my core. I'm pushing away from my palms and just stretching the back of the legs. Just a nice counteractive stretch after being in all of that folded position. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's come back down onto the knees. Okay, if you want to, and you find that your hip mobility, your back mobility is a bit tight, you might want your block ready for these next exercises. Okay, so I'm going to step my right leg forwards, and as I do that, I'm going to hook this leg underneath me. Now, if you've got any hip problems, you might like to avoid this and do an alternative stretch. Then I'm going to slide back. So it's called a pigeon stretch. That's one way to get into it. The other way to get into it is to stay exactly where you are and extend your left leg out and scoop that leg under and slide through. So if you find that you struggle to get range, this is an easier way to get into it. But I'm sliding back. Now, if you feel like you can't quite get down, a block here can be really helpful for you to have that support. Now, I want you to start with a little rock left and right with your hips. Left and right. So you're working into that range. So getting a little bit of a massage into the hip, and you'll notice how as you come across this right hand side, how that stretch changes around the hips. Now of course, if this doesn't suit your hip or knee, please pick a different stretch for you. I wouldn't want you to do anything that isn't appropriate for you. You know, pick one that you know that you normally do, that you feel safe and confident, and then you can join in when we finish this little stretch, this little routine here. Okay, when you're ready, we're going to switch over. So if you've got the block, keep using it. If not, tuck that back toe under, push yourself through, and then swap over. So this time I'm going to extend my right leg through, left leg comes under me, and I'm going to slide back. So I'm going to rock forwards and backwards. Well, actually, more side to side. It is a forwards and back, but what I'm doing is I'm rocking into my left hip and then my right hip. I'm doing that, working down into the hip, massaging around the back of that pelvis. Okay. Let's do 2 more here. Okay. Now, stay where you are. What I want you to do is just come and roll off onto your left hip. So I'm now sitting here, I'm pushing up, I'm sweeping that leg behind me, and I'm having a big stretch up into the air. Okay, so got this 90-90. So this is our shin box. Do you remember this from previous weeks? All the way through. So nice big stretch up. Okay, sweep the hands back down, come down into your pigeon stretch, roll back into your stretch here, stay here. Hold, hold, hold. If you want to, you could slide all the way out if you feel happier to. Whichever feels good for you. 3, 2, 1. Rock onto that left hip. Roll all the way through and reach up. Okay. So now that we feel familiar with our pigeon stretch, we're adding in this little pretzel. I'm going to show you the other way in a moment. We're going to do that one more time. So we're going to come all the way down into your pigeon stretch. You're trying to get your foot higher, higher, higher up. So you get some hip mobility around the back of the hip, but to be honest, wherever you feel the stretch is good. Okay, when you're ready, rock onto that left hip, come round and open up. Well done. I know this can feel quite tight in this back hip, so try not to kind of brace off it. If you need to, as you come off, bring your block with you, place it behind you, so you can actually kind of, I know it sounds stupid, but relax into that hip. Just try not to guard it too much. But if this isn't appropriate for you, then switch out. Okay. We're going to switch over to the opposite side. So when you're ready, I'm going to tuck that back toe under, push myself forwards, there you go, and swap over back to that first side. So left leg goes behind, right leg swishes under. I'm going to stay there, and I'm going to hold it still now. So we did a set of our rockers on both sides, just to prepare our hips. Now we're trying to get our hips parallel to the floor, so I'm not rolling off onto one side. When I'm ready, I'm going to roll into that right hip, let my left leg sweep behind me, and I reach up through that left hand. Staying there. 3, 2, 1, and then roll through. Hold for one more breath cycle. And when you're ready, from that nice flat position, roll into your right hip, let the left leg sweep behind, and then reach up. So we're almost, it's like we're pressing open our pelvis, so you'll feel a stretch through the front of your left leg, and then when you come forward, you'll feel a stretch into this right hip. So again, we're using these complementing lines through the body. So nice and still, hips parallel to the floor. 3, 2, 1, rolling off, opening up. Okay, instead of coming back into your pigeon, if you can, just let that left leg come round into cross leg position. See? Snazzy, you got there. Now if you've got your block and you find that you're a bit rounded or you feel like you're holding onto your knees, grab your block and come and sit onto that block. Now, I want to have your TheraBand nearby for a moment, and I want you just to stretch those legs out to start with. Nice and long through here. Okay, can you just go with a foot pedal for me to start with? Just working through. And rather than sort of, you know, ballet style, good toes, naughty toes, almost imagine like a ripple going through the feet. Ripple down, that's it. Ripple, ripple. Lovely. Okay, almost imagine those toes are going to go and dive into a swimming pool. 2 more. Last one. Okay, grabbing hold of that TheraBand, or that strap, whatever you've got for today. Let's hook around our feet, and you should feel how as soon as you've hooked it, you'll be almost drawn forwards. And if not, walk your hands down, set your shoulder blades, and that should bring you forwards a little bit of the spine. Okay, I want you to draw slightly forwards so you're coming into a hamstring stretch. Try not to let the knees pop off the floor, but keep the knees just soft. So I want you to imagine you've got a bubble behind each knee. You don't want to pop it by pushing those knees flat into the floor, but don't let that bubble escape. That's it, squeeze those shoulder blades. Okay, 3, 2, 1, and release. Well done, have a little breather there. Now we're going to gradually build up a little bit more in terms of these stretches, but this is just a nice starting position to start working to that. And you know, usually we find that actually when we lay down and we can get gravity to work in our advantage, we can get a bit further. But this is just a little prep for us. It's quite nice bringing the shoulders into it as well. So what I want you to do this time, as you go forward, squeeze your shoulders in, and then I want you to think about almost like someone's got hold of the top of your head, got hold of your hair, tuft of your hair, and then drawing you up through the crown of your head. So almost like they're drawing you away through the crown of your head, and you're tucking these ribs. So we're kind of almost giving a little bit of tension in between your shoulder blades. So imagine a diamond from the base of your neck out to the tips of your, shoulder blade and down to sort of your lower ribs. I want that diamond working, squeezing. So we're using that to actually help us get down into our hamstrings a little bit more. Okay. So, from here, nice and long through the spine. Are you ready? Keep those knees just soft. Imagine that bubble trapped underneath your knees, like the bubble is the size of a golf ball, okay? So, come and row here. Now, think about that diamond in your mid to upper back. Get it switching on, get it switching on, get it switching on. Keep the knees just very, very slightly flexed. Go on, imagine that bubble there. Don't let it escape, don't pop it. Keep squeezing that diamond. Squeeze the diamond, stay there. 3, 2, 1, and gently release. We're going to do that one more time. Could you feel that diamond switching on? That's where I want your work to be. We're using that connective tissue and muscle group there to really help you work and release some of the stiffness around your back going down into your hamstrings. Okay, any problems with this, do feel free to ease off, but when you're ready, keep the bubble underneath the knees. Tall through the spine, row the arms on and fold forwards, fold forwards. Reach, 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 reach. Go on, keep that, keep that, keep that, keep that. Go on, make that diamond work. Both shoulder blades working. 3, 2, 1, and release. Well done. Okay, we're going to hitch off of our block if we're on it. And we're going to come and have a lie down onto our back. Bring your band with you. Okay. I'm going to take my right foot. I'm going to place it over my left knee. I'm going to keep my band to hand. I'm going to use it in a moment, but I'm going to start by rolling my legs left and right. If this doesn't work for you, feel free to hug the knee in or push the knee away, whichever feels okay. If you do the little knee rolls, let's take the arms out to the side. This is a rotation at the spine rather than an arching of the back. So rotate right and left, getting that lovely lower back release. And we've added this little pretzel leg, which is going to give you the hip release as well. Okay, 2 more here. Last one. And then when you're ready, take hold of your TheraBand now. I'm going to hook my foot into it. So my right foot's going up into it. So into your strap of your band, holding onto that there. I want you to point and flex the foot. Now again, I'm trying not to like brace my leg really straight. It's just very, very slightly soft. From here, point and flex. Point and flex. Pistoning there. So yeah, this is working the calf, but actually what we're doing is just getting a little bit of mobility up the connective tissue and a little bit neurally as well, so up the nerves at the back of the leg. So if this doesn't feel like just a little bit of a gentle stretch, then you're going too hard, you're trying too hard, so take it easy. Okay, relax the foot now and just bring the leg until you can feel a stretch starting to switch on. Okay, as I feel the stretch switch on, I just check in with my tailbone and make sure it hasn't peeled off the floor. Usually it has, so set it back down onto the floor, and then from here I'm going to slowly bring my leg across for a stretch a little bit further to the side of my leg. Still keeping the leg in the same position, nice soft knee, straight leg, and my tailbone down. And then I'm going to go all the way out to the side and hold it there. Stay there for about 10 or 15 seconds to start with. And we're going to build this up. And again, other side, all the way across. If it's easier, feel free to pass the band. Just make sure you're not just dropping the leg across that side. Go on, tailbone down. Staying there. See if you make it more like 20, 25 seconds this time. And then switching over to the other side. Coming out if you can. So we're still looking for a bit of a stretch through the back of the leg, less so around the inner leg, but you may notice a stretch through the inner leg as well. Okay, this time all the way across to the other side again. One last time, tailbone down, gently flex that foot. I'm going to stay there for 30, but up to, but no more than 40 seconds. Stay in there, go on. Tailbone down, spine long. Three, two, one, all the way across to the other side. Now, push your foot away. So imagine you're trying to press it to the opposite side of the room. As you do that, keep your tailbone and your pelvis nice and still. And 3, 2, 1, come back to the centre. Wonderful. Okay, I'm going to take my foot out. I'm just going to stretch my legs away. Just give my legs a little shake out. And just see how that feels. Anything particular that I'm noticing? You might notice that this leg either feels a bit longer or a little bit more open, or you just maybe a bit warmer. Sometimes we can't really tell what it is. So let's bend our knees up. We know what we're going to do again. So this left foot is going to be over the right leg. And then from there, you're either pushing the knee away, hugging the leg in, or hands are down on the floor, and you're going to rock side to side into your pretzels. Side to side with those legs, but it's actually a twist, it's a rotation at the spine. So we're getting that massaging release into the lower back. Right, notice a few little kind of gristly plunks, but generally this should feel just a nice freeing movement. If it's uncomfortable in a sort of sharp or painful way, then I'd ease off. Okay, one more time each side there. Okay, when you're ready, let's take that left foot now, wrap it up in our TheraBand, pointing our leg up towards the sky. Now, bring it up so it just feels like an easy stretch, no effort. Now point the toes up and down, mobilising the foot, long spine, and you should feel the back of the leg is easing off. You can feel the calf maybe working. Shouldn't feel too intense or uncomfortable. Okay, let's do 3 more here. 2, 1. Okay, now keeping that knee just soft, bring the leg closer to you, but make sure the tailbone stays down. Okay? Once you're happy that your pelvis is level on the floor, your tailbone is down, start by nudging side to side. Now you may prefer to take the band over into one hand to do this, or keep one end in each hand, so like a sort of steering wheel, rotating very slightly. Okay. So next time you bring the leg across, see if you can hold it here for about 15 seconds, and as you do it, keep the tailbone down towards the floor. So it should feel, if we're thinking in like stretches as traffic lights, green is kind of nice, relaxing, easing movement, and amber you should feel a definite stretch, shouldn't feel any sharp pain. Let's come over to the other side. Again, about 15 seconds. So again, we're looking for that nice amber, should feel a definite stretch, but it's not sharp or painful. Okay, let's come back across the body. Keep the tailbone and that left hip down. Don't let yourself start rolling over. Hold it there. Remember, you're going for about 20 seconds this time, maybe 25. 3, 2, 1, all the way across to the other side. And let's hold it there. Go on, tailbone down, reach it out. 3, 2, 1, come back to the center. And then we do one more time each side, holding here, pushing the leg away, 30, but no more than 40 seconds. So reaching the heel long, and I'm feeling my pelvis anchor down. So it's almost like my foot is a helium balloon, and it's floating away, and my pelvis is the weight at the bottom of its string, and it's heavy and pulling down into the floor. I'm staying there, breathing through my leg. So exhale, imagine that exhale goes up the back of the leg, all the way up and out the heel. So wherever you've got to, maybe another 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1, and let's come across all the way out to the opposite side. Again, keeping my pelvis anchored, sending the tailbone away. And we're aiming for about 30 seconds there. That's it. So we should feel, as I said, that amber stretch, good intense stretch. Definitely know it's there, but no sharp pain, no symptoms of any previous injuries being aggravated or reproduced. This should just feel like that sort of nasty, nice kind of release. 3, 2, 1, let's come back to the center. Well done. Okay, I'm going to put my band down to the side for a moment, taking my feet nice and wide. I'm going to roll my knees in and out, left and right. So I'm getting that lovely kind of rotation release at the hips, which is so good for releasing off the hip flexors. Okay, we're going to do 2 more each way. And then we're going to step our feet in towards our bottom. We're going to do a version of a bridge. It's going to be a bit more of a yoga style bridge. So see if you're comfortable to do this. I want you to roll and peel your hips up like you're doing a bridge, sending your knees away, holding it there, staying there, and then rolling back down again. Now often, when we are tight in the hip flexors, what we need to undo those hip flexors is the energy, the effort of our glutes and our legs to lift us up, to actually stretch them out. The problem is if we are very tight through the front of the hip flexors, that's usually happened for a reason. Usually the glutes are not strong enough or have become weaker because we adopt more flexed, this position, so sitting positions. Okay, so to help us on our way with that, you've got 2 options. Number 1, either go into your bridge, feet are nice and close to you, so you're going to come in and then you're going to walk your hands down towards your hips and give yourself a little bit of a pull, pushing the hands and the arms into the floor to lift the hips a bit more. Now, if for any reason your knees don't like that, or you can't reach, you're going to grab your TheraBand, so say that's as far as your knees can bend. You're going to come up and then you're going to hold onto the TheraBand to try and get the lift up. Now the important thing with this is that this lift is not coming from here, from arching the back. It's coming from the shoulders pushing down and the hips lifting up. The ribs are still staying soft and down. So if you feel a crease in your lower back, an over tension through your jaw, you're probably arching your back. Okay, so have a few goes at that, either with or without your TheraBand. So I'm lifting up and then I'm holding onto my ankles and I'm pushing into the floor here. I'm squeezing, 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 squeezing through my glutes. I'm pushing up so I can feel a stretch through the front of my quads. 3, 2, 1, and back down. Okay, so this is much more of a yoga style bridge. If you're not happy, feel free to skip this one out. Use a stretch of your choice. We're going to do that 2 more times. So, feet and as close as is comfortable for your knees. We're going to lift up into our bridge, taking hold of our TheraBand or on ankles, push the legs into the floor, push the arms into the floor, so you can really get those glutes switching on to lift the hips up. Looking for that stretch, maybe through the quads or through the hip flexors. 3, 2, 1, back down again. This is quite energizing, it's quite hard, isn't it? So it's difficult to hold this for long periods of time, but it's great to get glutes activated, quads releasing that ability to balance out. Okay, have you got your breath back? Are you ready for another one? Okay, step in, hook those shoulders, up we go, squeeze the glutes, hold on to those ankles, push, 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 push. 3, 2, 1, and release. Well done. Release those legs out. Take a long pencil stretch. 2 or 3 breath cycles here for me. Okay. When you're ready, we're going to roll over onto a side and bring ourselves up into a kneeling position. Okay. We're going to take a couple of stretches to continue open up these hips. I want you to come up into high kneeling for me, and then from here I want you to bring your hands either onto your hips or onto your lower back. I'm going to squeeze my glutes and lift my chest up, almost like I've got helium balloons attached to my vest straps, and they're floating me off up into the sky. So I'm lifting up, looking forward, but not collapsing back through my neck. Opening up through the chest. 3, 2, 1, and release. Now that might feel enough for you. It might feel really intense. That might be more than enough that you need. If you're happy to take this a little bit more intensely, I'm just walking my knees backwards because I'm going to step my left leg through. So I'm now in a lunge position. This time I'm going to have my weight lifting out of this left hand side. So I'm going to start, and you can already see me going into it. I'm pushing my knee into the floor. So imagine I've got an invisible stress ball underneath my right knee. I squash that stress ball with my knee. I reach my left hand up into the air, and then I'm looking up and over. Can you see I've got rotation? So I'm not collapsing into my lower back. I'm rotating and looking over. I can now feel a stretch coming all the way through this front part of the body. Go on, reach, 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 reach. Stay there. 3, 2, keep squeezing those glutes. 1, and release. Well done. Okay, we're going to take a slightly different quad stretch. If again, you're not happy with this, go back to one of the 2 versions that we just did. So either you're reaching up and over, or straight forward, double kneeling, lifting up, okay? So if you're happy to, and you want to go a little bit further forward, you're going to come into this position. You may need a cushion underneath your knee. You're going to let this leg flex, and then you're going to take hold of the ankle. I'm not yanking my ankle in towards my leg. I'm just lifting, I'm still squeezing my glutes. I'm imagining that, again, that someone's got hold of my top of my hair, and they're pulling me long, nice and long. Go on. 3, 2, 1, catch the floor, and release off. Well done. Okay, let's go back to the beginning on that. So both knees down for everybody. You go to whichever stretch feels best for you. There's something a bit intuitive about stretching. It's like working out what food you're craving. Okay, so hands onto your bottom or your lower back. From here, lift tall through the spine, lean and lift up with that chest. Now, tuck your tailbone under, so you're scooping under that tailbone, connecting the knees into the floor, nice and long. 3, 2, 1, and release. Well done. So if that felt intense, stay there. Number 2, stepping through that right leg. I'm going to start squashing that imaginary stress ball or whoopee cushion or whatever it is underneath that left knee. Nice and tall. We're going to go nice and up. So my left hand's coming into my left hip and my right hand's coming up, and I'm looking over behind me. So like I'm looking over to the side of the mat behind me. Just imagining I'm lifting up and over to that back corner of the mat. Go on, squeeze the glutes, lift, 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 lift. Helium balloon in this right hand. Go on, float up. 3, 2, 1, and release. Okay, final version. A lot more intense into the knee. If you don't like it, stick with one of the other versions. Come forward, take hold of that left leg, and then from there, you're going to stretch. Go on, stretch, 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 stretch. Squeeze the left glutes, go long through the crown of the head. Go on, stay there, stay there, stay there, stay there. It's quite a deep stretch for the quads. Okay, 3, 2, 1, and release. Okay, uncross those legs, take yourself to a hip sway or a shell stretch. You may even like to take a few little cat stretches, rocking forwards and backwards. Okay, pick one of those stretches that feels right for you. And next we're going to come down onto our tummies. We've got one last little stretch to really open up our body before we come into our time of relaxation. You can pop your TheraBand aside. You may want your head block with you, your yoga block with you. See how you feel. So we're going to come to hands and knees. I'm going to slide our hands out for our puppy stretch, reaching those fingertips nice and long, lifting the tailbone up nice and high. We're going to stay there for 3 breath cycles. Okay, one more breath cycle for me. And as you finish that breath cycle, I want you to land your elbows into the floor, connect with your core and translate your hips forwards so they come to the floor. But I'm not just dropping into the floor, I'm going long and up. So it's almost, so imagine a gentle curve, a lift coming from my toes all the way forwards out through the crown of the head. Take a breath in. Breathe out, let your body bow down towards the floor and then push your hips back into your puppy stretch. Nice long reach through the fingertips. Hips are up high. Remember, you can take your elbows out wide and cross your arms across the mat if your shoulders are not happy in this position. One more breath cycle. Then as you breathe out, elbows come down. Hold it there for a breath in. And then connect the core as you come forwards, lifting up and forward through the crown of the head. Going long through the crown of the head. Push the elbows into the floor, opening up those collarbones. 3, 2, 1. Engage through the core as you lower the shoulders down. Press the hips back, stretching out nice and long. Stay there. Open the chest. One more. Okay, relax those elbows down. Come forwards. Nice and long here. Now, keeping nice effort, so connection, support through your spine, engaging your core. Just gently give those hips a little roll left and right. So we're shaking out any additional tension, just mobilizing to the lower back. If you're not happy with this, stay with the version that works for you. So long through that crown of the head. 3, 2, 1. Melt down into the floor, and this time allow yourself to roll over and come to a position of rest and relaxation for you. Noah, I have been hearing you all the way through my filming. I have 15-minute quiet relaxation. You've got to be quiet. I mean it. This means you guys can't come out this room until I'm finished now, because it's door's too noisy, okay? So if you want to come out, you have to come out now. So once you've chosen a position for you, you might like the head block, you might like a cushion or a blanket. Make sure that you feel that you are going to be happy to stay here for the next 10 or 15 minutes. So I want you to find a position where your joints are not bothering you, you don't feel distracted by anything, and just make sure that your clothing is comfortable. This is the position that we're going to spend the rest of the session in. So I want you to be completely aware of your breath and your heart and not your position or any discomfort that you might be noticing. Oh, for goodness sake. So once you've picked a position that works for you, using either a head block or a pillow or a cushion for support, I want you to make sure that you're in a position where your joints, your posture, your clothing as well is not going to distract you. So get comfortable and feel free to change your mind. If you want to shift into a different position, that's absolutely fine at any point. Now hopefully after your nearly an hour worth of stretching or mobility, your body should feel significantly different. Hopefully you're feeling an openness, or maybe you might feel a heat. You might even feel a strength or energy in your body. So whatever that feeling is, just see if you can take a moment now just to key into that. Take a few slow, deep breaths and allow all of that exertion and effort into those stretches to settle. And as the breath settles, see if you can hear what your body is saying to you. So whatever your body is saying to you, I would suggest that that is your body's thank you to you. So if you're now feeling energized, or maybe you're feeling soothed and relaxed, or maybe you're feeling open, I want you to think, which one of those resonates for you? So now we're just going to take some time to reflect, listening to your body's thank you, your body's response to that movement. I want you to think about how over the last days or week you maybe have been feeling the opposite to that. So if your body now feels really open, I want you to cast your mind back to the last week or so and just think what things or activities or maybe people have been making you feel closed. Or maybe you feel energized. So think back to the last week or so, think about what has been draining your energy. Or maybe you feel that lovely, beautiful, calm peace. So just think back to what is it this last week that has been bringing disruption or chaos to your thinking or your body. Now before you go any further, and I know we all want to jump in and solve things and correct things, we've been practicing in these sessions just becoming present with those things, not trying to jump in too quickly, correct and fix them, but instead just standing alongside them, recognizing what they are. So now you've had a chance to think about what your body said thank you, what it was that it was craving, what it has been that has been disrupting your body's needs and your needs. Now imagine that thing, that person, that situation, and see if you can stand in your mind, not face to face, not staring it down, but maybe parallel to it, or just near to it, as close as you can go to that thing, that person or situation, without any emotion, distress or frustration rising up inside you again. See if you can see that as an object, as a thing, rather than an emotion, rather than something that drains or costs you. See if you can ask that situation or that person what your blind spot is. What is it that you can't see that is causing you to be drained of energy, feel tired or stressed or closing inwards? And if nothing comes to mind, don't worry. Just sit there with that thing, that situation or person. And now recognizing how you felt at the end of this session and you found your position of comfort, that energy, that peace, that openness. And see if you can come and bring that like a screen between you and that situation. Hang it up like a veil. Now looking through that screen or veil of energy, peace, openness, does anything change for you? What do you see? Does it look different now to when you first thought of it? you may find that these situations just keep coming back. And you are surely well aware that that is very, very normal, that those things will happen. And actually, we can't change those, but we can change the veil or the screen through which we look at them with. So if you think that that situation, that person, or that activity is going to have to happen again, or could happen again, I want you to plan an intention to come back to this very aware place. Maybe even visualize in your mind where you are right now, the room you're in, the clothes you're wearing, the smell that you can sense around you, maybe even my voice. And just see if you can print that into your mind as a reminder, like a postcard to yourself, that you can come to this place. Knowing that next time that you maybe get triggered, or you feel your energy being drained, see if you can get this postcard out. Bring as many of the senses as you can into this. Sound, touch, smell, what you can see around you, what it feels like to lay here, even the clothes that you're wearing. Take that snapshot in your mind as proof that your body and your mind can reset any time that you choose to allow that to happen. And as we draw to a close, have a go at getting that postcard out now. Think of that situation, that person or activity. Look at them through the veil of what you're now feeling. And take that postcard out in your mind, that picture of you right now, where you are, and how good you are feeling. You have that postcard with you forever now, and you can use it whenever you need to. So this week, see if you can carry that postcard around with you. Keep it at the front of your mind, ready to draw out at any moment that you might need it.